Hello, my name is Amy Bruderly. I am the owner and operator of Shadow Lux Soapery, and I am here to review a video by the one and only Katie Carson. She is the person that I learned how to make soap from. She's fantastic. She's so sweet. I love watching her videos. They are definitely an inspiration. One of the reasons why I wanted to start reviewing soap videos is because as a former graphic designer, I realized that there are some design tips that I want to comment on in videos. And this is nothing against the person, nothing against Katie. I love all of her stuff. I just figured I could share some of my expertise when it comes to these videos. So this is one where she uses the kaleidosoap, or she makes a kaleidosoap using the new tool that she got. And I've made soaps like this. They look really cool. So I can't wait to see what she has done.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Today I am testing out a super cool cylinder mold from Custom Craft Tools with a kaleidosoap soap shaper from Love Your Suds. And before I do anything, let me preface this video by saying I have the old version of the kaleidosoap shaper. The new version fits this mold perfectly, so if you see me struggling, it's my own fault. People have been using PVC and other round molds for forever. In fact, one of the first soaps I ever made was using a PVC mold that I had a family friend cut into 1 foot long increments. I put a cap on the bottom. I filled.
That's funny because I've actually done that. I've made soap in PVC pipes, and let me tell you, it is so hard to get out. So the fact that there's actually a tool to do this easier is fantastic.
It up, I pushed out the soap 24 hours later, and that's how I made my round bars. Please enjoy the very first round bars. These were made within the first year of me learning how to make soap, and that's how we did it. But Custom Craft Tools saw a need and really delivered. I have actually never seen such a genius piece of engineering as far as soap is concerned. The fact that it's clear so that you can see if there's air bubbles, the addition of the rubber bands so that you pull directly in the center, the ease of using a bolt.
That's actually really cool, and I want one. Like, I love making kaleidosoaps. They're so much fun to make. They always look so cool, and this is just the coolest contraption. And yeah, I want one. That's awesome.
System to unmold the soap, and the silicone pad at the bottom to help prevent leaks really does set this mold in a category of its own, and I have been waiting to test it for forever. I'm going to be making about 2.5 pounds of soap today. I am using the fragrance Mango Sorbet from Nature's Garden, and I'm only doing 2 colors so that we can really see the effect of the kaleidosoap.
Can't wait to see what the colors are. What you gonna pick, Katie?
Soap shaper. The 2 colors I'm using are Tangerine from Makesy and Flotation Device from Mad Micas with titanium dioxide from Wholesale Supplies Plus. I'm also.
That's a choice. You know, 2 orange. I usually don't like to mix neons with regular other colors, but that's just a personal preference, and I can't wait to see how her double orange soap turns out.
Also using my classic Royalty Soaps recipe. I may end up regretting this because that recipe does get slightly thicker than other soap recipes. Like if I was doing a Bastille, that would stay more runny for longer. But you know I love to take chances, so let's get started. And yes, of course, I put my safety gear and hairnet on. All right, we're gonna start by pouring in our lye water solution and sodium lactate. Whenever you're making soaps like this, it's so important to use sodium lactate.
So I personally don't use sodium lactate. I used to, but I found that it didn't make much of a difference personally for my recipe. Now, if you have a recipe that's very soft, yeah, Of course, sodium lactate would be a good idea, but personally, I don't use it, and I know why people do. It's just a personal preference for me.
It makes for much cleaner unmolding. I used 3% sodium lactate of my total oil weight, not batch weight, oil weight. I'm going to blend until just past emulsion. We want this soap runny.
This is my favorite part, watching the oils and the lye mix together and become that emulsion. It's so beautiful. It really is just the best part of making soap.
That was literally 8 to 10 seconds. I don't think people realize how strong emulsion blenders are with tiny batches of soap. You do not have to blend that long if you're using my recipe. Now, if you're doing 100% olive oil, you're doing a really, really runny batch, that's gonna be different, but this much soap is a teeny tiny amount for how powerful that stick blender is. Now, I'm going to split these by eyeballing them. You wanna be really precise, use a scale, but whenever you're using a soap shaper tool like I'm using, you're not actually gonna be able to tell if my colors were 100% equal. They're all getting pulled through. Scrapey, scrapey, my little containy. Okay, TD going in first. Very, very, very careful with how much I added. And then
That's interesting. I would not have added the titanium dioxide first. That's just not how I would approach color theory. I would probably add the titanium dioxide later. I'm not sure if she's doing it because of her recipe and the way that the titanium dioxide reacts with her batter, or if it's for color reasons. But let's see, maybe she explains it.
Then I'm going to blend my orange for a really long time because neon pigments are really hard to mix in. Now I'm going to blend for about 5 seconds in each container. And
Okay, so she mixed the two oranges together and then had the white. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I like this. This is better.
I am going to hand mix everything else. We are not going to mix in our fragrance oil with a stick blender. Like I said, we need everything to stay nice and runny. I've also picked a fragrance oil that won't give me any grief. I am actually gonna weigh the fragrance oil in though. It's a lot harder to eyeball that one. I learned that a lot of people when doing artistic soaps like to not fragrance the product because it gives you more control over the soap liquidity. But unless I am making like a blameless artisan bar where there's no color, no fragrance, no nothing, you know I'm gonna scent that stuff. It's just in my heart to do. What the heck? For this special soap, I will use a different mixing tool for my white to make sure they don't mix at all.
She could have just mixed the white first. It's fine. It's fine. You do you, Katie. I love that she's using two different tools because I would have gone crazy if she had put her orange spatula into the white. Nope. Don't do it. When I make soap, I have separate tools for all my colors because I don't want them mixing. So, yeah, good job, Katie. Thank you.
Black Friday and Cyber Monday week are still in full force at Royalty Soaps. And I just have to highlight that these 15 ounce, that's literally almost a whole pound of wax, triple wick prepped and ready to go. Let's start by pouring in our orange. I'm going to cover the bottom with that one. That first soap is not going to be perfect. I'm already pouring my soap in at a slight angle. And basically I'm just counting to 2 and then switching. So 1, 2, and I bet I can just do it like this. It'll go faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, 2.5 pounds of soap was too much soap. I'll back weigh it to see what I should have put in so that you guys can do it. We may have to revisit this again with a different recipe though. Mine is just getting too gloopy.
Yeah, that's way too thick. I used to use Katie's recipe, actually. That was what I learned how to use the first time, but I have since made my own recipe and it does not set up this fast. Also, titanium dioxide will make your soap set up a lot faster, so that's. I would not have picked white to do this particular soap, but again, you do you, Katie.
Too fast. I'm gonna go ahead and very carefully remove these rubber bands. Very carefully. They do have soap on them. And then pull this up. Super cool. I can see it coming up the sides. Yes. Oh man, I just know that's gonna look so cool. Again.
I love the way that Katie says yes. Like it's so funny. I love it so much. This is part of why so many people love her videos.
Gonna tap down very gently. Before doing anything else, I'm going to wipe off my gloves with a Clorox wipe. Wipe down my mold with the same wipe here. Everything is made out of stainless steel, non-corrosive materials, but I just like everything to be as neat as possible. Gorgeous. I'm gonna cover the top of this with just a little bit of cling film, just like so. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to keep it not exposed to the air. All right. And then I'm going to very gently wipe down the sides of my mold where I touched it with my soapy gloves. All right, and here it will sit for at least, I'm gonna wait 48 hours, I think. I just don't wanna take any chances with the outer wrapping still being sticky. See y'all then for the big reveal. It's only been 24 hours, but I took the plastic wrap off and touched the top and it feels really hard, so I'm going to try to unmold. All you have to do is untwist these little, I don't want to use the wrong word, you know I don't know anything about construction, so whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are wing nuts. They're pretty standard. Just, yep. This is a really cool device though. It's so cool. It makes it so easy for soap makers to make these kind of soaps because it's very difficult to make a mold by yourself.
Whatever those are. Top comes right off. Go wash that later. Take this off here. Again, super clean unmolding. Love that. And then it should slide right out because it's in a liner. It does. Wait, is it going this way? Oh man, look how cleanly that unmolds. Gone are...
Okay, that's awesome. I love it. Yeah, people used to have to pop it out with something else. They'd have to use a tool to try to get that out of the mold. That is fantastic. I love it so much.
Are the days of having to push it out using like a brick or something. Oh, it's so great. Look at that. And smooth sides. Eee! This needs to be hand washed. I am so excited to see what this looks like. It smells incredible. Place this down right here and line it up. We'll see how many we get. Gonna have a little off both the ends. Press down gently. I am so nervous. Okay. Here goes nothing. Whoa! Look at that! Oh man, look at that!
Okay, that's really pretty. It looks like an orange slice. That's awesome. My only thing is I'm so picky when I make these kinds of soaps. I want it to be directly in the middle. And if it's not, I'm like, this was a failure. But that's me, and this is Katie, and I actually love this. It kind of reminds me of a tie-dye design, but orange, and it's beautiful. So, yeah, good job, Katie.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Every single bar has rendered me speechless almost. And remember, this was for a soap that was getting kind of thick. Like, I really should have amended my recipe. And this is how good they turned out. Like, I actually can't believe it. It looks so good. This just makes me excited to try it out with smoother recipes. Maybe I'll get the little centering tool that they have so that you're pouring directly into the center every time. But even so, for the first time using that particular mold and not really changing any of my soap methods, and this guy is is clearly the winner, but that's actually insane. Okay, cutting the round mold was fun, but what about this leftover soap I have? I think now is the perfect time to show you guys the Caterpillar soap cutter. Okay, so we have an adjustable...
I have one of these, and I know a lot of people love it, and it's great. I think I'm not used to it yet. I don't use it that often, and oh my gosh, do I fight with this thing. I have so many issues trying to use it. Also, she doesn't have it. Oh, okay, I guess she's gonna line it up. I was gonna say, she does not have that thing lined up properly, so let's see if she gets it lined up.
Wire for this cutter, which makes splitting your loaves so much easier, and you can do it for different heights. So for this one, I really just want to shave it down. I don't want to take a lot off the top, so I'm going to kind of measure where I want. That'll be too much. I'm going to go up 1. Okay, I think that's about right. You measure on each side to make sure that it's even, and it is. I'm going to put this on the other side so that we are pushing against and just pull it on through. Okay, that definitely made it even, but I want to smooth it out a little bit more, so I'm going to bring it down 1 notch, and I'm going to run it through again, and look at that, peels right off, completely even.
Oh, that is so satisfying. That's one thing I do like doing with that, when it cuts it nice and smooth. Cutting soap is so satisfying to begin with, and this is just the next level of satisfying.
This will be going to, where's it going? Come on, I know you guys.
EcoSoaping! I still need to make a donation. That's definitely on my list, is to donate to EcoSoaping. I have their information. I just haven't sent my soap yet, so I will. I promise. I'll make a donation.
You guys know the answer. Eco Soap Bank, that's right. Along with all of my scraps and shavings. All right, now I'm gonna remove this because I'm gonna do some hand cutting. Gonna flip it to the other side, pull it up and pull it out. We're gonna measure how big I want these little bars to be. They actually give you a ruler, which is super handy. Right, that's where we're gonna make the first cut. Lean it up against the side, hold the soap, push straight down, and look at that. A nice even cut all the way down. It's 2.5 inches, so I'm gonna do the same mark.
Okay, right where her hand is, her right hand, there's actually a little slot that holds that ruler. So she could just put the ruler in the slot and not have to mark it every time. Also, if you push your soap up against the edge of that cutter, it holds it level, so you're not kind of free-handing it and getting it turned around while you're cutting. So if it was me, I would put the measuring stick down on the side and then just slide the bar of soap along the edge to get a precise cut.
Mark right here, and we have a little bit extra. All right, pull this up, line up my soap, push flush all the way down. A perfectly straight cut again. Last one here, just a little teeny tiny bit to cut off. Perfect.
Okay, she does have it pushed up against the side, but the side closer to us actually has the little groove in it where she could put the ruler if she wants to in the future.
Perfect. Beautiful, beautiful. I'll let these sit for a couple of days and then I'll clean them up. And that was the majestic work of the Caterpillar from Custom Craft Tools. I will leave you guys links to this cutter and also the mold that I used today down in the description box below. I feel like we could do this with white and red and it would look just like a poinsettia. I'm super pleased with how...
I didn't see any white on that poinsettia. So, okay, yep. Go, you do it, Katie. I want to see your white and red poinsettia. Please do it.
how this turned out, and in the future we're going to have to make this again using a runnier recipe and the little center tool that they have so that you pour the soap right into the middle. But if you are used to making smaller batches of soap, perhaps you're a hobbyist or someone who wants to make this for family and friends, this is a really cool tool. And even if you don't want to use the kaleidosoap shaper, it makes the absolute perfect round size bar for like guest soaps, travel bars, etc. So that mold is actually just super handy to have, and yes, it's Royalty Soaps approved. I hope you all have an amazing day. Do something fun for yourself today. Try something new with your soap making or your crafting. Go outside, get some fresh air and sunshine. You know, I don't care what you do, just do something for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
I wish I could go outside and it would be sunny, but I am in the Chicago area, and so that is not something I can do. So thank you for coming to my very first video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if there are any other soap videos you want to see me review. Let me know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Wow, brain.